My name is Krunal Joshi, and I'm the managing partner at Precision Miners. The topic today that I'll be talking about is diversification of mining hosting sites. We are a hosting site provider. We build sites, and we also have around 20 megawatts of hosting. And what you see here in the picture is one of our 5 megawatt hosting site we built up in 30 days for one of our clients. And the reason I want to talk about diversification is my background is more in oil and gas, and we try not to put all our eggs in one basket. And I tried to take that into the mining space. So our focus is on diversifying our hosting sites and not trying to have all our hosting sites at one space. And I'll be talking about the advantages and some of the disadvantages of doing that. So before I actually talk about diversification, there are three main considerations we take into account before we actually pick a hosting site. The first one is energy cost. I mean, that's probably the most important one. Everyone wants to get the lowest power rate, so that's probably the primary goal. Second is regulatory analysis. That's something we really do, especially in the recent times with different state governments and governments around the world clamping down on mining. So we always try to stay in areas that are low in regulation. And infrastructure assessment. So we try to access areas where you have a substation in place, for example, or access to material is easy to procure. So what you see here is one of the sites we just acquired. It's a 20 megawatt greenfield site. And you can see it's right next to a substation right off a freeway in Missouri. And so this is some of the three, I would say, primary considerations we take into account. So what are the benefits of actually diversifying your hosting sites? I would say the most important is risk mitigation. Diversifying actually lowers the risk associated with, for example, the weather. I mean, we are in Tornado Alley, so if you had all your sites in one location and a tornado came by, I mean, that would pretty much mean the end of your business. So that's one of the reasons we actually diversify our hosting sites, and we have around 12 locations in Missouri and Kansas. Added to that, once you diversify, you also have enhanced stability in terms of pricing, and then you can also access stranded assets like natural gas, and that's something we are also big into is natural gas. So there is also an added advantage of cost optimization. When you have access to different hosting sites, you can't let the electricity provider dictate terms to you, because if they start dictating terms to you, you have under the site to go to. And we have actually faced that in the past where a site increased their prices by 20%, and we just packed our bags, and in a week we were at our new site. So that's where diversification really helps. And then expansion. So once we are happy with our site, we start off with 5 megawatts, and if we are happy with the site owner, the landowner, we actually quickly start expanding. And in many of our cases, we have expanded from 5 to 20 megawatts within a year. But there are some disadvantages. So when you diversify, you need to have your logistic planning in place, and that's something we have been focusing on. We have strategically placed warehouses. Risk management is something we also focus on. We have risk management plans for each of our sites in case there is any issue. And we also monitor our sites at a central location, and we have one or two techs dedicated to every site. So yes, there are disadvantages, but that's something that needs to be taken into account. So lastly, this is just a map, and in this map we have 12 different hosting sites on-grid and off-grid, so natural gas and on-grid. We currently have 21 megawatts of hosting, and we can expand to 40 megawatts. And we can build 5 megawatts in 30 days, 10 megawatts in 45 days, and around 20 megawatts in 75 days. And that's something we have already done, and our clients can speak for it. So yeah, that's my last slide. We are in booth 101. If you have any questions or concerns or want to talk about building a site or hosting, we can help you. Thank you.